Hi everyone, this is Ryan from rockthedivine.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to my latest video. I want to say thank you to everyone that sent in questions. The response was excellent and I really appreciate it. I love answering your curiosity, so everyone that sent in a question, thank you so much. If I didn't answer your question in this video, I have 8 that I chose. I'm just saving it for another video, so this video is not too long. And there's a few that I got asked that, to be honest with, I didn't know anything about and I've never heard of or experienced. So I'm not going to answer something I'm not educated on. So just keep that in mind. So for these questions, I shortened some of them, but you'll get the gist of which one is your question. So I had a person that was asking, they were doing a shower clearing and they sort of felt things moving around their feet. Before I go into what that was, I want to explain for everyone else what a shower clearing is. So clearings are great to kind of dust off your aura and remove the static and debris that you've collected during the day. And for a lot of people, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone by taking a shower and doing a clearing while you're in the shower. So that's really great that you're doing this, and I highly recommend it for others. So I'm assuming that's what this person's talking about, is they were doing a clearing in the shower. And a lot of times you can imagine that along with the water, white light is sort of washing over you and washing away all the static debris and icky energy and any other little things that got attached to you. And you can imagine them washing down the drain, and it really does work. It does a great job. This person got scared because they felt things moving around their feet, and they wondered if it happens to all mediums. So what I would say is, don't get worried about what you were feeling. You were sort of feeling the release of that static, that debris, that icky stuff in your energy. You were actually feeling it coming down to the bottom and sort of releasing. That's just showing that your clairsentience is getting stronger, and that happens with everyone in different ways. The way I started, when things started happening to me, I have very different things happen now. It's just your abilities evolve and progress. It's nothing to be scared of. You're just sensitive, and you were able to feel that debris, that static, that maybe negative energy releasing down around your feet. Does this happen to all mediums? No, but it doesn't make it strange. Everyone is very unique in what will happen to them. Some things that happen to mediums are very common, and other things, it's a little less common. It doesn't make it strange or anything. You know, like I personally don't have that happen, what you're talking about, but I have different things happen that I can feel. So just keep in mind, you were actually getting a confirmation of these things sort of releasing in their hesitation to go down the drain, so to speak, but it's nothing to worry about. This person then asked, can they affect you or reattach? They can affect you, but not in the sense you're talking. So when you're saying like you felt it down around your feet, can they affect you in that moment? No, because you're doing your clearing and your intent is stronger than them, and your angels and guides are assisting you so that they don't stay in your energy. They can affect you generally speaking, and that's why you're doing the clearing, to get them off of your energy, okay? Can they reattach? Not likely in the moment. They can reattach later, and that's how you collected this stuff in your energy to begin with. They won't, I hope I'm explaining this well. They won't reattach in that moment in the shower, especially if you ask your angels and guides to make sure that you are completely cleared. And you know, a lot of times by just your intent and saying what you expect to happen and would like to happen, that's enough to make sure that that doesn't happen. You also, the next time you're doing your clearing, make sure you're really imagining them going down to your feet, this icky stuff, and a lot of times you picture it dark, I'm assuming. Once it gets down to your feet, have it go all the way down the drain in your imagination, okay? But really nothing to worry about. Your clairsentient abilities are just strengthening. Hi, I'm interjecting here after I had just mentioned to the last person that asked the question about the shower clearing and their clairsentience is growing and you're feeling things around your feet. I mentioned that you are sensing the static, the debris, and anything else icky in your energy sort of releasing, and the hesitation of it going down the drain. It wasn't till the end of my video that Spirit let me know that you have some low-level elementals around you. So don't worry too much about that. Don't be scared. It can be very normal. I'm going to give you something to do right now. You're going to call in Archangel Michael, and you are going to ask him to please clear and remove all negative and low-level elementals from every level of you and from every level of your home. Okay, so on to the next question. They said the last couple weeks they've been walking around with a tingling sensation between their eyebrows, like someone is pressing on it. What should I do? So that is a very common thing, and when you're feeling pressure or tingling in the middle of your forehead, that is your third eye. And in extreme situations, it can even feel like a headache. Okay, but a lot of times it does just feel like pressure. Your third eye is trying to open. It is trying to clear blockages, programs, and any other gunk that got on it. And when it's doing that, a lot of times you will feel that pressure. You asked, what should I do? You don't really have to do anything. It's, our bodies are quite capable of working through that stuff on their own. What you can do during meditation, though, maybe to help your third eye a bit, is you can ask your angels and guides to clear and remove any blockages in your third eye, and ask to do so slowly and comfortably. A lot of times if you sort of open your eye too fast, you can start seeing kind of odd things, and it can be scary. So ask to slowly and comfortably open up your third eye, remove any blockages, and start working on your clairvoyance with some, visualizations and any other things. There's great things on the internet you can find that have you practice certain things to strengthen that ability. But that is your third eye cracking open. Okay, next question. This person seems to have orbs all around them. They're all different colors, shapes. Some are big, some are small. And this person has video, pictures, and audio of the orbs, and just they're wondering what they are. So a few things. Orbs, well, they can be all kinds of things, but this is what they are generally. Most often, orbs are earthbound spirits, spirits that have crossed over. They can be angels, but they usually will not appear as orbs. It's not a never, though, so that's why I'm letting you know. But it's usually not an orb, okay? And they can also be sprites. They can be fairies, and usually that won't be an orb. It'll be more like a sparkle, but a lot of this stuff has sort of a gray area to it. It's not never this, never that, So, but what I will say generally, if I could talk, is that orbs are usually earthbound spirits or spirits that have crossed over. A lot of times the difference that you can see visually is that if the spirit has crossed over, the orb will be bright and possibly even with a color to it. If they're earthbound spirits, a lot of times the orb will just sort of be a grayish white color. Now, that's also something that's not set in stone. So even when something has crossed over, it can still appear with no color. So you see, it's a little bit confusing, but generally crossed over spirit or earthbound spirit. I understand with the video and pictures, you're catching these things maybe even on accident. Be careful with the audio. I know I'm going to have people that disagree with me on this, but when you're purposely searching for ghosts and you're recording them, to me, it's sort of like if you don't know what you're doing and you haven't set up the proper boundaries with spirit, it can be similar to using a Ouija board, because you're just like, hey, are there any spirits out there? If so, talk into the mic. Careful with that, okay? And you asked, what should you do? Well, you don't have to do anything. Just know, as long as you don't have sort of any odd activity around you, you don't have to do anything. Just know that you have you're drawing in a lot of spirits. There's a good chance that they're drawn to you. And also the area you live in, specifically around your house, is active, is what they're telling me. So keep that in mind. But there's nothing for you to do as long as you don't have any, strange hauntings going on in your house. Just know you're a spirit magnet, and that does happen. Okay, this next question, this person was experiencing ringing in their ears. So that can be allergies. And, I say that because sometimes it's something as simple as allergies. But when the ringing's consistent and it's not allergies, and you don't have water in your ears, a consistent ringing can be your clairaudience trying to strengthen. So just like in a previous question, we talked about your third eye strengthening and you feel pressure on your head. When your clairaudience is strengthening, you can feel pressure or ringing in your ears. Also, especially early on when someone's abilities are strengthening, your hearing is trying to adapt to higher frequencies. So sounds that we generally as humans don't hear, like angels, spirit guides, even deceased loved ones, you don't walk around hearing them. When you start strengthening your clairaudience and your body's attempting to work out the blocks and kinks, it will start trying to attune you to those higher frequencies so you can hear them. So just know, ringing in the ears is your clairaudience strengthening, okay? All right, the next question. For the last few months, this person has been experiencing someone calling their name. What is this and what do I do about it? So, well, first I'll say that very, very more often than not, it is not something of a high vibration. And I don't say that to scare you at all, but a spirit guide, an angel, an ascended master, even your deceased loved ones, they do not want to scare you. And if they do, it's super on accident. They really don't want to scare you. And if they think they're scaring you, they will back off quite quickly, okay? And what lower level beings like to do is sort of make you nervous. And a calling of the name is a very great way to do this. They find out your name and then they start calling it and getting your attention, and it's nerve-wracking and agitating. My recommendation is that you need to do a clearing on your house. You need to call in Archangel Michael, Jesus, God, angels, guides, whoever you feel comfortable with, to help you clear your house. You can clear it with sage, you can clear it verbally. I don't think it's anything very serious, but you do not want this low level being in your house. So it's time to make them very, very unwelcome. And this is your space. It's not, I hate to use the word normal. It's not normal to have a spirit in your house just calling your name, and it's not okay. So time to make them bounce, okay? Do a clearing on your house, Google clearings, call on your angels, call on your protection angels, and it might take a few times. Sometimes this can happen with one clearing, and sometimes it will take more. Just know that you are in charge of your space, you are in charge of your energy, and your angels and guides are there to help you get rid of this low-level being, okay? All right. This person said, is it possible to have a past life dream? Absolutely. And it's a good sign when you're having them because you're sort of tapping into other realities and other parts of you that once existed. You know, a lot of times you can really pay attention the best you can in your dreams and try to remember things later, because a lot of things from past lives we carry into this one. And so often you're tapping into a memory and possibly even a trauma or something that you weren't able to overcome in this lifetime. You can recognize that you still have going on in this lifetime and work on it so you can sort of move past it. I don't like to get into deep things, but I'm going to leave you with this. Or I don't like to get into deep things in my video, I mean. There is the theory that past lives as we think they happened once long ago and now you're in this life. That makes sense. There's a theory too that that other life is going on at the same time as this one. And that's kind of trippy to think about. Okay, the next question. Can I communicate with relatives that have passed? Can I call on them anytime or should I let them rest? So you can communicate with relatives and you can talk to them whenever you want to. Should you let them rest? Well, if they don't want to talk to you or pay attention to you, they won't. It's sort of just like being here on Earth. If you call on the phone and your grandmother's like, I'm busy, she just won't pick up the phone. And it's the same way in the spirit world. You know, just because you call on this spirit doesn't mean they have to show up. That's totally a choice. And when you are crossed over, you are busy. You know, you're doing things, you're learning things, you're taking on other roles. And so you're not bothering them. If they, like I said, if they don't want to pick up the phone, they're not going to. But you can absolutely communicate with them. I was going to say something else about that, but I wasn't sure. What I will say is that while you can completely talk to your deceased loved ones anytime you choose, and they will hear your thoughts, and I think they like that you're thinking about them. If you are trying to have them communicate back with you, you need to learn the correct ways to do that to protect yourself so you don't have someone or something pretending to be one of your deceased loved ones. You know, if you're trying to hear back from your deceased loved ones through mediumship, you need to be taught how to be a medium the correct way, is what I'll say. And without getting into a whole thing, it's more or less just so you know what you're doing and you can protect yourself and your energy, okay? But, you know, your loved ones do think about you and they get to see everything you're doing, so you're not bothering them if you talk to them, no. So the next question is actually, I wrote it as one question, but I had a few people. So I'm going to lump this all together because all their questions were sort of getting at the same thing. How can I get more in tune with my spiritual abilities? Is there a way to practice and not be scared? So I'll answer the first question too of how can I get more in tune with my spiritual abilities? So I always hesitate saying this because I mentor people and I don't want people to think I'm advertising for myself. I'm not advertising for myself. I only take on limited students anyway. I only have so much time, so I'm not trying to gather all the students I can, especially not at this point in my life. What I will say is there's a lot of stuff online that can help you. There's a lot of little tests you can take online. Techniques you can practice that you can find online. There's a ton of books that can help you do this too, to tap into your intuitive abilities. And there's videos such as this and a lot of stuff online, and you sort of have to weed through a lot of it and find what resonates with you. What I will say is I often feel, and this, what I'm going to say is not a judgment. Okay, I've been there, I've been you. But I'm just going to say it and be honest. A lot of times when people ask me this, it is because they're trying to do anything but find a mentor. And the truth is, to really, my opinion, I guess not the truth, but my opinion is to really get good at using your intuitive abilities and to move forward quickly and safely, I always recommend that you find a mentor. And like I said, it's the last thing usually people want to do. but I will tell you from experience, it is the thing that made the biggest difference in my life. I have so many books in the other room, and they were all okay, but they didn't really help me a lot. I scoured the internet, freaked myself out mostly. It wasn't until I just bit the bullet, saved some money, and found a mentor I resonated with. And I'm telling you what, in a session or two, everything I had been struggling so much with just started coming together and progressing. And, you know, what I'll say is that practice as much as you can at home. Scour the internet to find things, watch videos, be consistent in whatever you're practicing. That's another thing. Be consistent in what you've decided to practice and strengthen. Make it a daily thing to be able to see yourself getting better and better. But really at the end of the day, you got to find a mentor. I strongly recommend that. And like I said, it doesn't have to be me. There's a lot of mentors, and there's even some people that have a great regular mentoring online. I'll give you one. She's really good. Her name's Amanda Lynette Meter. You Google that name. She has a membership and a mentoring program that's excellent and has, I think, weekly or monthly things that she'll have you do to practice. And there's a lot of people like that. I have a video that I did a while back about, I forget the name of it, but it's basically what you can do every day. And it's like practicing, listening, and writing down what you receive, whether it's visually, clairaudiently, clairsentiently, what have you. But it's about consistency. And the reason too I say about being consistent, I'm rambling now, but the reason I say about being consistent and the mentoring is learning how to be good with your intuitive abilities is no different than going to school for something. And people are quick to go to school to further their education, but I notice when it comes to this, they just are like, well, I just want to do it myself. I can do it myself. I can figure it out myself. Let me tell you what, it's the harder way to go. So how can you get more in tune? Practice, read, watch videos, do things every day to strengthen your abilities, but eventually bite the bullet, find a mentor, and things will move quite quickly for you. I really think that. The other part of this question, is there a way to practice and not be scared? It's another reason to find a mentor. They can teach you how to safely connect. They can remove a lot of the mystery of things and make you feel better. What I found is usually we're scared of what we don't understand, and we're scared if we're talking to something that's bad and we won't know it. By connecting with a teacher, you can learn how to have boundaries with spirit, protect yourself, and know by doing certain things you are only communicating with high vibrational beings. And I mean, I teach people how to do many things so that they know when they're finally connecting, they'll know exactly who they're talking to. So that's another thing. A mentor, a teacher can really help you get over your fears, because there's really nothing to be scared of. You have a team that's always protecting you, but you do need to know how to protect your energy and have boundaries. And yeah, if you really want to get good at it, it's time to get a teacher. It's time to find a mentor. And you don't have to pay out the ass for it. You know what I mean? Like, I try to be reasonable with my prices, and there's other people that do too. So just scour it and ask your angels and guides to find you a mentor that would most help you and allow the universe to do their magic, okay? Thank you everyone so much for your questions. I hope my answers helped. If you have any more questions, keep throwing them at me and I'll keep making videos. Much love to you, babes.